Hey everybody, you're tuned in to 91.8 The Fan, and I'm here with my very special guest who's brought his fighting spirit. Welcome to the show, David Vincent.
Hi, thanks a lot, Jackie. Thanks for having me.
Not at all, and I must say, I noticed you've been in pretty much the three biggest fighters in the last year.
Yeah, I have. Of course, Blaze Blue being one of them, and then, of course, we got Tekken 6 and Street Fighter 4.
It was actually kind of funny for me because I'm a big fighting person myself. I really like that genre. And you play, because I noticed you first in Blaze Blue, you play bad guys very well, or twisted, perhaps is a better word.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. You know what, Jackie, I got to tell you, playing the bad guys, playing the evil guys, and especially Jin Kisaragi, I mean, that character is just such a crazy dude that I have to say he's actually, in my opinion, one of the most fun characters that I've had the pleasure of playing. And love getting crazy with his laughs and his crazy obsession with Ragna, and it's awesome. It's a lot of fun.
He's very up and down, and I gotta say, fighting games I've heard quite a bit take a toll on you, but on top of the fighting games, you have to tackle down that evil laughter.
Yeah. Luckily, I've had a lot of years experience in playing some pretty crazy characters. So, what I'll do is you just get into the character and get into the craziness of it, and the laughter just kind of comes with it.
Now, for being in so many fighting genre-based games, do you think you've kind of gotten the and the grunts and the death screams and everything sort of down?
Oh yeah, that's honestly one of the biggest parts about doing both anime and fighters and other video games as well, RPGs, is getting those grunts down. And you'd be surprised that there's a lot. I've worked with a lot of producers that have difficulty with some voice actors who can't do the grunts and who don't get the. We have what's called the standard 102 in the industry, and that's where if you're getting hit or your surprise reactions, the reaction shots are actually a huge part of doing a voice acting job, be it for anime and original animation or especially for video games.
And I've heard that the screams themselves can be really, straining on the voice. Have you ever had problems where you've lost your voice for a little bit?
Yeah, I've come close. I actually have got this little magic trick. I was working as Lee Shinkei on Code Geass, and for some reason, I don't know why, but I started to get what we call marshmallow voice, and that's where you start to lose your voice. And this guy gave me this stuff called Sunbreeze oil, and you put a little drop of that on your tongue, and literally, like, within 1 minute, your voice is back. But yeah, I'll tell you, some of the bigger games, I've got a couple of really very well-known titles that, of course, I'm under non-disclosure that I can't disclose. Everybody will know these franchises that are coming out, and yeah, it's nothing but screams and yells, and it does get to be a little bit taxing. Most of the time, though, the producers know that, and what they'll do is they'll schedule you for shorter sessions, so that if you come back and do two 2-hour sessions as opposed to 1 4-hour session, you're not going to completely lose your voice, midway through the session, which can be disastrous.
That's understandable, and we understand about NDAs. I have to hopefully congratulate you because I'm going to assume you reprised your role as Jin for Blaze Blue, which I believe comes out in like 6 days. Continuum Shift?
Yeah, it's coming up. When are you putting this up?
Well, we're actually live right now. So
Live right now, okay. Yeah, so I'm under non-disclosure, so I can't confirm nor deny. But yeah, it's Jin Kisaragi is a great character, and I think that the next Blaze Blue is going to be an amazing game.
Well, understandably, we don't want to get you in trouble, and hopefully you get to play that role again. And it wouldn't be the same without that crazy laugh. Just gotta say.
Well, thanks, and I have to say, Jackie, I'd agree with you.
And I'm curious, are you a video gamer yourself? Do you play the fighting games, or did you kind of just fall into fighting games?
I wish that I did get to play more often, but to be honest with you, I don't get to play as much as I'd like to. I've gotten to play a little bit, and I've gotten to play some Tekken, and I've gotten to play Street Fighter. I have gotten to play Blaze Blue, but I don't get to play as much as I would like to.
I can understand that you guys have hectic schedules. You're called to do this, you're called to do that, blah, blah. Have you ever gotten your schedule confused? How do you keep track?
That's really funny you said that. It's because yesterday there's so many different studios and places that we go to audition and to record all around Los Angeles. For those of you out there that are listening, there's a majority of the voice acting jobs, at least for video games, are in Los Angeles. A lot of anime is over here, and then of course there's a huge conglomerate in Texas as well. I'm based in Los Angeles. And so, funny thing that you said that. Every once in a blue moon, most of the time I'm really, really good about maintaining my schedule, knowing exactly where I need to be at what time. And the great thing is that I've also built a studio in my house, in my office, in my house. So now I actually get to do some recording out of my house. But once in a blue moon, I'll get my lines crossed like I did yesterday, and I was all the way in Beverly Hills and was dealing with a passport renewal issue. Prior to a next audition that I had with a pretty big casting firm out here, and totally spaced it, didn't realize it, get a call half an hour after I'm supposed to be there. Just one of those things where you're like, smack yourself upside the head and get in the car and head on over there. So luckily I have a good relationship with them and they had no problems with it. But yeah, every once in a while it can get a bit confusing and you'll miss an audition here or there.
Well, that's good that there were no hard feelings. We don't want you to miss an opportunity. But it's interesting that you mentioned the home studio. I hear that's kind of all the rage now in the voice acting world.
Yeah, Jackie, it really is. And I have to admit that I was on the scenic route and as far as taking and getting my office up and running. And it makes all the difference in the world. To go in, what I did is I had a closet big walk-in closet that I just cleared out and built my studio with the foam and the equipment. And it's remarkable that even 5 years ago, even 2 years ago, I spent the majority of my day driving between studios and my agent's office to audition. Now they send me the copy. I go in and record it in my home studio, convert it to an MP3, send it right back to them. And I found that I can actually audition for a lot more stuff having my home studio. So yeah, it really is an asset to have as a voice actor.
And now I have no idea how much a home studio costs, but hopefully, saving on gas was a good exchange.
Absolutely. And you know what? It's really a lot more cost effective than you think. I mean, it's the microphones out there are really not that expensive, and anybody who owns a Mac, even just using something like GarageBand, which is what I use. And, get yourself a nice microphone. The only expensive part for me was building up that closet and putting up the soundproofing. So that was a little bit pricey, but the equipment is relatively cheap. And as long as you've got a Mac or a PC, I don't know what the programs are on PCs for recording, but I think it's Pro Tools maybe. But at any rate, whatever it is, it's actually more cost effective than you would think.
Very interesting. And I think with that right there, we're going to take a very short break, but we will come back with our wonderful guests. But make sure to stay tuned to 91.8 The Fan. Everything you want, nothing you don't.
You need to cry. Let's brainstorm. I could hit you over the head with a wrench, or I could stab you in the gut with the knife. Knife wrench! Practical and safe.
Are you tired of crappy ideas that don't work? So are we. So we invented 918 The Fan. 918 The Fan. Everything you want to hear, nothing you don't.
Knife wrench for kids.
Hey everybody, we're back in the corner here on 91.8 The Fan. Still got my guest here. I didn't fight him off, and I think if we tried to fight, he'd probably beat me up. So I think we're okay. And we were actually talking a little bit behind the scenes about any current projects that you're working on or upcoming projects that you want to promote.
Absolutely. And Jackie, like I said earlier in the earlier segment, man, there's nothing I'd like more than to promote the heck out of what I got in the hopper right now. But, of course, I'm under contract which means that I can't mention any of them by name. But I've got a lot of big projects coming out that are pretty big franchises that I am 100% confident that any of you guys out there listening are going to know of or have already played earlier versions of. So definitely got some big franchises, games that are going to be coming out that I've done voice work in. And then other than that, for those of you listening, I do the voice of Grimjow Jaggerjack on the TV series Bleach. And we did actually just do a little bit of recording for, I believe the Iran Car arc is coming back to Cartoon Network. And we did some pickups with Grimjow, and we'll hopefully Grimjow will be coming back as, no spoilers. I had to catch myself. So
well,
you can next when the Iran Car arc comes back, be sure to check it out. You'll see me doing some more Grimjow in there.
Awesome. And it must be so nice with Bleach. It's such a big series, the video games come along and things like that, and they pull you in and they're like, "Hey, you want to do this video game too?"
Yeah. Actually, you know what? It's funny. I did the voice of Grimjow in Bleach, the Shattered Blade video game, before I even got cast in the anime. What's funny is that I did, because of relationships, that's how I got cast in the Bleach video game. But then as I was introduced to Grimjow, I loved the character, fell in love with this character so much that I kept on hounding Studiopolis, which is the studio that does the dubbing for Bleach, kept on hounding them for over a year to let me reprise the role in the anime. And what's funny is about a year and a half later, after I did the role of Grimjow in Bleach the Shattered Blade, I get called in for an audition to Studiopolis. And I go into audition, and I'm like, well, what am I auditioning for? And they're like, well, there's a number of different characters here, and of course, we want you to audition for Grimjow. And naturally, there's about 35 other voice actors there that are auditioning for Grimjow as well. So I was a little bit chagrined, but I did wind up getting the part, so that was a lot of fun.
Congrats! That's really amazing. I hear that, if you get attached to a character, you might not always get it. So that's
Yep.
good to hear, a good story.
Yeah.
And
I was pretty excited because I really like that character.
And I'm curious, for all the fans who want to stalk you and make sure what you're doing is part of their favorite big franchise, how can they keep updated with updates?
Oh, well, good to ask. There's actually two ways that you can stay in contact with me. And of course, I have got a MySpace page that you can come and feel to come and send me a friend request to myspace.com/David Vincent VA, as in voice actor David Vincent VA. And then naturally, I've got a Facebook page as well that I like to update every now and again with new projects that are coming out that you can I can let you guys know to look for. So my MySpace or my Facebook is facebook.com/David Vincent VA, as in voice actor. So facebook.com/David Vincent VA. So feel free to shoot me a friend request, and I'll be sure to keep you updated with all sorts of posts.
Awesome, and I'm sure some listeners are heading there now. I am curious, if we really want the stalkers to have fun, are there any conventions we can catch you at? Are you a con goer at all?
Yeah, I just went to Anime North in Toronto. That was in, I think it was June, and had an absolute blast there. And then I just got invited to go to Onicon in Houston. So Onicon is at the end of October. I believe it's the Halloween weekend. So any folks that are in Texas or in and around Texas, and you go to cons, make sure to go and check out Onicon. It's supposed to be a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to going there.
Very cool. And we're getting a little bit closer to the end of our time, and usually before we let any of our voice actor friends go or our guests go, we ask them if they'd be willing to participate in a 91.8 The Fan tradition.
Yes. Okay.
Awesome. We ask everybody if they'd be willing to do a radio bump for us.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'll do a radio bump for you.
We actually do this live on air, so if there's any mess-ups, everybody gets to hear.
Yeah, you guys get the joy of the many takes that we voice actors do.
Yes, the wondrous blooper reel. And if you want to write it down, you can write it down. A lot of voice actors do that. But essentially, we were wondering if you could say, "My name is, I do this, and you're tuned into 91.8 The Fan."
91.8 The Fan.
Yeah, the numbers might trip you up.
Yeah, that's when I write that down.
So whenever you're ready.
0.8
The Fan.
All right.
All right, you ready?
Ready.
Whenever you want. We have no beat.
Okay. All right, my name is David Vincent. You may know me as Grinjow Jaggerjack, and you're listening to 91.8 The Fan.
Very nice. And only one take. No bloopers. You survived.
Hey, I did it.
And is there anything else you'd like to tell the listeners out there?
Yeah, just go ahead and thanks for listening, and go ahead and check me out on MySpace and Facebook, and send me a friend request. I'll keep you posted on my next appearances and releases.
Awesome. And hopefully when those big releases come out, we can have you on the show again. Thank you so much.
You got it, Jackie. Thank you. Have a good one.
And for everybody out there, you can tune into this interview in the next 2 days over on our website at 918thefan.com. Keep it tuned to your favorite station. Everything you want, nothing you don't.